Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Jairek TV. Today we're going to be focused on how do we get over past trauma, past pain, past frustration or angst. So as we're talking about past trauma or pain or angst, you're gonna wanna grab today's download. In the download, the very first question we start with is, what is a moment, a person, an incident, anything that's happened throughout your entire lifetime, right now in the present or in the past, that might have caused some upset in your life, some sort of frustration, some pain, something that really still, if you think about it even today, it creeps up on you and it just turns in your gut and it does not feel good. You don't even like thinking about it. And I'll apologize in advance for even bringing it up, but you know as well as I do, this is the thing that kind of comes back every so often. And whether I mention it or not, it'll show up in your life sometime in the near future as a thought or a feeling. Now, if you have a recurring thought or feeling that constantly kind of haunts you or shows up, today we're going to go through 3 steps you can take to get rid of this once and for all. And the very first step is in the worksheet, just writing down and identifying what it is that happened. And what you want to do first off is you want to do this in a way that you're not associating to the past pain of it. So what you want to think about is just what are the hard facts of what happened. And when we talk about hard facts, think of a legal deposition. If you go to a lawyer or you go to the court and they say, what happened? And you say, well, I was driving down the freeway and this person cut me off and it pissed me off. And then the next thing that happened, all they're going to write down was person driving down freeway, car swerved in front of them. That's the facts. That's just what happened. How you feel about it is irrelevant at that point. It's just the facts. So what I want you to do first off is write down just the hard facts of what happened in this incident or situation that caused you to feel how you land up feeling. What caused the upset? What caused the pain? Just write down the hard facts of what happened. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to take a moment, and this very first step is, how would you have to look at it, or what perspective would you need to take to just acknowledge the fact that it happened? You're not going to say it's good, you're not going to say it's bad, you just kind of have to disassociate, look at it as if you're looking from the outside in, third person perspective. You're just observing and saying, you know what, it happened, it's life. So the first thing you got to do is just acknowledge it. Because what many people like to do is try to pretend like it didn't happen. You try to clear the thought from your mind and don't even think about it anymore. The problem is, the more you avoid it, the more it persists. And there's a phrase that says, whatever you resist persists in life, and this is true in this circumstance. If you try to constantly avoid thinking about it or pretend like it didn't happen or ignore it, the truth is it'll just kind of bubble up and fester until it comes back and gets you. Number 2, the second piece you have to do is, once you acknowledge it, you have to take some time to find a way to appreciate it. Now, this may be a hard thing to swallow for most of you, because you might say, appreciate it? Are you kidding me? No way. Never, ever, 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 ever am I ever going to say anything good about this moment in my life, or this person in my life, or this situation in my life. But if you can step back from that third-party perspective, that external perspective, and what I mean is, imagine kind of like floating on a cloud looking down at your situation unfolding, and from this view, just look around in the entire situation of what happened. Look at who else was involved. Kind of hit pause and just see a still frame of that moment. Look at where you were. Look at what was going on in other parts of your life. Look as close as you can in all the different little elements involved until you find at least one thing you can appreciate about this moment. How it unfolded, who you became because of it, what was good about it. Find one thing. It doesn't even have to be positive, but something you can appreciate about it. Now, once you find one thing, look for the next. What else can you appreciate about it? Jot that down. If you have the worksheet, the question's right there for you. Next, what else can you appreciate about it? And keep making a list until you come up with at least 5 to 10 things you can genuinely, truly appreciate about it. The final piece, once you've acknowledged it, once you've appreciated it, the final piece is to accept it. And acceptance means it happened. You know, I accept that it happened. I accept it's part of my history. It is what it is. I'm no longer going to attach emotion to it. As a matter of fact, when I think about it, when the thought pops up, I'm now going to think about the things I appreciated about it. I appreciate who I became. I appreciate how I grew. I appreciate what it caused me to be, experience in life. I appreciated what it taught me, the lesson. But now whenever you think of that moment that used to be some pain or angst or frustration, it's now something you acknowledge that it happened, you appreciate a part of it, not that it happened, you just appreciate pieces of it, and now you accept that it was there, and bingo, now you release it from ever having to haunt you any longer. So if you have a moment like this, download today's worksheet, fill it out for yourself, and free yourself of it once and for all. If you know someone who's ever struggling with past pain like this and they're constantly trying to avoid it or run from it, make sure to tag them in this episode or share it with them. Also, if you're on Facebook and you see this and you think it's valuable, click the share button, click retweet, and send this out so we can ripple it out to the people who need it most at the exact moment they need it. I really appreciate your help in that. Anyways, grab today's download, have fun with it, free yourself of any of those limitations holding you back, and I look forward to seeing you next week for another episode of JRC TV.